Hi and welcome. Thank you for clicking on this iPad app video guide. Now this video guide here is to show you how to download and make use of the iPad app on an Android device. And this iPad app is specifically designed for usage with our Petrek GPS units as well as our Petrek 3G units. Alright, so before we begin, make sure you have looked through our frequently asked questions, fine prints on our website and whatnot, and also make sure that the SIM card provider that's in your tracker has been credited and also activated, just so when we add the tracker onto this app, it will update straight away. Now, if you're on your Android device right now, you'll either see a Play Store or Google Play button, so press that and search for the iPet GPS app with this orange icon and install it. Once it's installed, you'll see that app on your main screen or even in your main app screen as well. Alright, so once you get in, you won't see any of these trackers right now because you haven't added it yet. But before you do that, go to Settings and go through and make sure these settings are the same on your phone. With the OBS Assist, what that means is it's assisting location by cell towers. That means when there's no GPS signal, which is when the tracker is sitting at home, it will connect to a near cell tower. The reason we want this off at all times is because our cell towers in New Zealand and Australia are usually quite far apart. So the last thing we want is pet owners thinking that their pets are 3 kilometers away on a cell tower. So once we have that off, it will only update when the tracker has GPS signal, which means it will always be more accurate or within 20-30 meters of where your pet is, even if it's in a very poorly GPS signaled area. When that's done, go to Map Display Mode, make sure it's in hybrid. That gives you a selection of satellite view and also map information. In History Display, if you have a newer phone, such as new Samsung S7 or S8, you should use the Advanced mode in the History Display. This will show you more data. But if you've got a phone that's more than 2 or 3 years old, we recommend that you choose the normal mode in History Display just so it doesn't lag or slow down your phone as much. On notifications, have it on Vibrate on Ring unless you do not want notifications and sounds when the tracker has left the boundary or the geofencing that you have set. Everything else, just leave it as it is. It's not something that's important or that you need to know about. Press the top left button to go back up to the map. What you want to do now is press the left button and add your tracker. So press the Add Tracker button and simply type in the IMEI number that's found at the back of your tracker. Here. And press OK when you're done. And that will pretty much add the tracker. Now if the tracker right now is showing at this address here or another address, that's likely where the tracker was last tested by the technician. So make sure your tracker is on, it's been charged and it's sitting outside right now with a clear view of the sky. That way it will update to wherever you are right now to within a few meters or 10 meters of accuracy. Right, when that's done, looking at the left menu here, you can always check the location, the history of where your dog or cat has been. So for example, if I want to find out where a doggo this currently tracker has been, you will see a history. Alright, and the points pretty much start from 1 being the very first update of the day. The bigger the number, the more later the update. Alright, in this, if you have it in advanced history mode, you can then look at the GPS signals of each. If you see 3 bars here, that means the signal is weak-ish and it's most likely sitting indoor but within 20 meters of indoor property. The reason for this is because GPS signal cannot travel through rooftops. So it has to bounce through windows if your tracker is indoor. But in this case, we're based in this building here, and as you can see, the tracker has been inside and it's getting signals from all outside the window with signals being bounced in. So if you click around and you find a bar with more than 3 or 4 green bars, that means your tracker is likely outside in the open with good GPS signal and accuracies within 5 to 10 meters. When you're done, you can also use the heat map just to give you an idea of your cats or dogs main spots where they like to hang around. Obviously with this tracker here, most of the time it's sitting inside the home. So that's gives you a clear indication that your cat or dog usually like to spend its time at home. Right. When you're done, you can go back out again and press geofence. Now that's to set a boundary for your dog. So what you want to do is enable geofence first. And if you live on this house, for example, just put your finger on it, and that will give you a nice boundary circle of 100 meters. The reason it's not smaller than 100 meters is because we do not want to give you too many false alarms, especially with weak GPS signals in certain areas, or especially if your house is pretty big and your tracker is always inside the house getting signals from outside the windows. And you can use this button to enlarge up to 1 kilometer. When you're done, simply press OK, and that will activate the geofencing alert on your phone. All right. Now, as you can see, there's an icon on top here. If you get ZZZ, that means the tracker is currently not moving, or your pet is basically sleeping and not doing much. All right. If you see a little satellite dish, that means the tracker just last updated with the clear GPS signal. If you see a cell tower icon over there, that means the tracker is likely indoor, and the only thing you can receive is a cell phone tower reception and no GPS. So what you have to do in that situation is just simply wait for the tracker to go out or get a GPS signal. If you see an exclamation mark, that usually means your tracker is somewhere deep with really poor mobile reception as well as no GPS signal. So that usually means your cat might be under a house or your dog is inside a rabbit hole. So in those cases, it's best to go into history and start looking at the last updates, last location updates they were last at, so you can start walking towards where they've been in all their directions and whatnot. Right, and now, last but not least, the bottom menu here on the top is your IMEI code, the address. Now make sure the address is not always 100% accurate, because it's based on Google Maps. There's always an accuracy here and there depending on where the cat and dog is currently wandering. So we always recommend you to just go to the address and then look on the main location thing here. Use your blue dot, which is you, as a starting point, and walk towards wherever it's showing you the last location off. Right, so in this menu here, you've got the GPS signal. So again, weak means it's indoor, normal means it's slightly under shelter, accuracy is around 10 to 20 meters, and if it says excellent, normally that's about anywhere from 2 meters to 10 meters accuracy. If it says weak like this, make sure you look around the buildings 20 or 30 meters, surrounding buildings, because your cat is likely indoor, your dog is in someone's garage. GSM signal, not so important, it's just used to send you the data. Battery, important. If there's only 1 or 2 left, make sure you take it off and charge it as soon as you can before the next usage. Right, nickname, this is where you type in your nickname. Navigation is where Google Map starts up and will tell you from where you are and how long it'll take and which roads to take to find your dog if your dog is taken quite far away or your cat has gone quite far away. You can also put Street View as well, so it'll show you approximate houses that you should be looking around at for your cat or dog. And then there's the change of picture, which you can put a picture of your cat or dog on the icon rather than an orange Dutch hound. Now, search mode, pretty important. In urgent mode, you'll get around 6 to 8 hours of battery life. We don't recommend using this unless your cat or dog is gone and you need frequent updates. If your cat or dog is quite naughty, then you should be using the normal mode, which updates every 5 to 10 minutes. But put in mind, in normal mode, the battery will only last around 8 to 12 hours. So if your cat or dog doesn't really go out too much or doesn't go missing a lot, then leave it in power saving mode, which updates once every 2 hours and will give you about 3 to 4 days of battery life on the Petrek 3G, or up to 5 or 8 days in the Petrek GPS unit. If you are to switch back from power saving mode back to urgent or normal, make sure you understand there is a 15-minute delay, because in power saving mode the tracker sleeps for 15 minutes before it wakes up to check for any updates. Other than that, power saving mode will also change itself to normal mode should geofencing be triggered. So if your cat, for example, walks out, within 15 minutes the app detects that your cat is outside the boundary, the power saving mode will change to normal mode so that you can track your cat more frequently and change to urgent mode more quickly. So other than that, the iPet app should be quite simple to use. The information you see here is always whatever the last update was sent. So 40 minutes ago, this is what the information is here. So it's not real time, so to speak. It only updates on each update. So I hope that makes sense to you. If you have any more other questions, please go to our pet tracking common questions page or just give us a call on our 0800 number. Thank you.